Hi, my name is Steve Goldberg, and I'm one of the leaders of our trip from North Carolina to China. It's pretty amazing that we're going to do this, and I thought I would make a quick video to give you an overview of where we're going. And you can share this with your friends and relatives if they're interested. So we are in the Triangle area of North Carolina. And as you probably know, the reason it's called that is because if you draw connections between Chapel Hill, Durham, and Raleigh, you get a triangle. And I'm going to draw a triangle about the same size. That's about 25 miles, that's about 20 miles, that's about 10 miles. And we'll see that in each of the places that we're going in China. So Sunday morning, we are all going to meet at the Raleigh-Durham airport, and we are going to fly up to the Detroit airport. And I've made a rather large place mark to put on the Detroit airport. And I've made it that large because I want to show you our flight path. So we'll be going from Detroit to China, and the quickest way to do that is to go pretty much over the North Pole. So that will be our 7,000 mile, 13-hour roughly flight that we take to get to China. When we're in China, we will be starting in the capital city of Beijing, and then we will go to Xi'an, and then we will head to Chengdu. And I'll walk through a little bit of what we're doing in each of those places. So let's start with Beijing. And if you go into Beijing, just to get a sense of how big the city is, I think it's in the neighborhood of 16 million people. That's how big our triangle would be. So Beijing is a little bit bigger than the whole triangle. This is the airport that we'll be flying into up here. And this is the hotel that we'll be staying at. So we'll fly in the airport, check in at the hotel, get some dinner. I believe Peking duck is on the menu. And then we'll see some of the major sites within Beijing. One is the Summer Palace up this way, the Forbidden City. That's worth looking at in some detail because it's surrounded by sort of moat here, and then this is you've got Tiananmen Square, I believe, here, or possibly here. We'll know better once we've been there. And then we'll also be going up to the Great Wall of China, which is a little north of the city. It's obviously in lots of different places, but this may not be the place that we go to, but when Google Earth resolves a little bit, you can see it here. These are the little guard posts along the way, and you can walk along the Great Wall, but you have to actually climb up the wall to be on it. And we'll also see the after we do that, we'll see where the 2008 Olympics were held, and this is called the Bird's Nest Stadium, and over here is the National Aquatic Center. And you can sort of see those, looks like little soap bubbles on that side of it. And that should be pretty cool. We'll then go to the railway station in Beijing. Kind of a cool looking station. And we'll get on a high-speed train, which will take us to Xi'an. I believe it's a 5 or 6 hour train ride at roughly 200 miles an hour. In Xi'an, again, to give you some sense of how big the triangle is relative to Xi'an, we will be staying at the Grand Mercure Hotel, which is inside of the city walls, which you can see here. Google Earth is a little slow resolving, but those are the old city walls of Xi'an. I believe they're close to 1,000 years old, and pretty impressive place. If we back out to Xi'an in general, we'll also be seeing the Big Wild Goose Pagoda and the very famous terracotta warriors, which are a little outside the city. The terracotta warriors you can Google and get some details about, but kind of an interesting detail is that just off to the side of the terracotta warriors here, this is Emperor Qin's unopened tomb, the Qin Emperor, and so that the Chinese government has not opened up yet, but these are the warriors who are guarding the tomb. And then we will head to Chengdu, again on the high-speed train. And when we get in there, this is roughly how big it is compared to the triangle. We're going to visit something called the Temple of Marquis. We're going to see the giant panda breeding grounds. I believe we're going to go, there's this building that's bigger than the Pentagon called the New Century Global Center. A rather big building here. And we'll be spending a lot of our time at this school, which is in a suburb, well, not a suburb, but a section of Chengdu called Xi'an, and that's where we'll be, right at this school here. So there's more that we'll be doing in Chengdu, but that gives you a basic overview of what we'll be doing. And again, just to back out to China and to show you the three big cities, Beijing, Xi'an, and Chengdu. When we're done in Chengdu, we'll take an in-country flight back to Beijing, and then we'll be flying from Beijing back to Detroit over the Arctic Circle here, and then back to our DU. And it should be a pretty amazing journey. And it all begins at 7 a.m. on Sunday. So that's the overview, and hopefully you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.